Hailie Deegan just fell all the way to 16th place, looking like her season was slipping further away, and then pulled off one of the wildest recoveries of her entire career to land on the podium. Let's break down exactly what happened at Portland International Raceway, because this is one of the best redemption stories NASCAR's ARCA ranks have produced all year. To understand why this result matters so much, you have to understand where Hailie Deegan's career has been. She first made her name racing for Bill McNally Racing back in 2018 and 2019, picking up 3 wins and 13 top 5 finishes across 28 starts in the ARCA Menards Series West. That stretch is still considered the high point of her stock car career, the run that turned her into one of the most recognizable young names in short track racing at the time. From there, she climbed the NASCAR ladder, running Truck Series races for 4 seasons, competing in the Xfinity Series, and eventually landing a shot in the Xfinity Series in 2024. That Xfinity run didn't go the way anyone hoped. Her struggles were serious enough that she parted ways with her team mid-season, and instead of chasing another shot at stock cars right away, she pivoted entirely, spending 2,025 racing open wheel cars in Indy NXT with HMD Motorsports. She finished that season 14th in points with a best result of 11th. A solid effort for a driver adjusting to an entirely different style of car, but not exactly the breakout that redefines a career. So this year, Deegan made the call to come back home. In January, she announced she was returning full-time to ARCA Menards Series West, reuniting with Bill McNally Racing, the same team and the same driver's seat that produced the best stretch of her career. Team owner Bill McNally was clearly excited about it too, saying getting her back was incredibly special and that the team was ready to chase another championship together, this time with Deegan, alongside teammate Mason Massey. Deegan echoed that energy, saying she couldn't be more excited to reunite with the team and was focused on coming back stronger, adding that she wanted to fight for wins and a championship again. Her 2026 season started out steady, but not spectacular. She opened with a 6th-place run at Bakersfield, then rattled off 3 straight 7th-place finishes at Tucson, Shasta Speedway, and Irwindale. That's a consistent professional stretch of racing, the kind that keeps a team in championship contention without generating a lot of headlines. A rough patch followed those 4 races, too, further stalling any real momentum heading into Round 8 of the season at Portland International Raceway, a road course event held alongside an IndyCar Series weekend, which meant a bigger spotlight than usual on the entire ARCA West field. And for a while, it looked like Portland might turn into another forgettable day. Deegan actually started strong, rolling off 6th and immediately making moves in a 5-7 lap race. By lap 8, she'd passed her own Bill McNally Racing teammate, Mason Massey, to climb into 4th place. From there, she spent several laps locked in a genuine fight for the final podium spot, showing exactly the kind of speed that made her a name in this series back in 2018 and 2019. That battle got physical, too. A 3-wide fight for position eventually cost her a couple spots, dropping her to 5th. But she was still holding on to a top 5 position as the race approached its halfway point, right where she needed to be. Then everything fell apart. Deegan ran into what was described as a mid-race issue, and her pace collapsed almost instantly. She went from fighting for a podium spot to sliding all the way back to 16th place by the halfway mark of the race. For most drivers, that kind of free fall in the middle of a road course event basically ends any realistic shot at a strong finish. At that point, a lot of teams simply settle in, manage the car, and try to salvage whatever points they can rather than risk more trouble chasing a result that looks out of reach. That is not what Deegan and her Columbia Bank-backed crew decided to do. Instead, they treated the second half of the race as a second race entirely, and Deegan started clawing her way forward almost immediately. By lap 34, she'd fought back up to 13th. 4 laps later, she was up to 11th. Then on lap 44, she made a genuinely significant move, passing the points leader in the championship standings to break back into the top 10. A pass that mattered for more than just her own scorecard. A restart on lap 51 gave her another opening, and she used it perfectly, gaining 3 spots in one shot to move up into 7th. She wasn't done. On the very next restart, Deegan made another strong move through the opening corner, advancing from 7th all the way up to 5th, while the leaders ahead of her were locked in their own intense fight for the win. With laps running out, she stayed close enough to the front tee to capitalize on anything that happened ahead of her. And on the final lap, it did. 2 of the cars racing directly in front of her got tangled up and ran each other off the circuit. Deegan didn't hesitate. She threaded through the chaos and crossed the finish line in 3rd place, completing a recovery from 16th to a podium finish in barely half a race on a track where she'd never previously delivered her best career result. That result did more than just salvage a bad day. It was Deegan's first podium of the entire 2026 season and her best ever career finish on a road course specifically. It also came with a milestone that had nothing to do with where she finished. By making her 35th career ARCA start across the ARCA Menard Series, ARCA East, and ARCA West combined, Deegan passed the previous record for career starts by a woman in series history. So on the same weekend, she pulled off arguably her best recovery drive in years. She also became a genuine record holder in ARCA's history books, a distinction that outlasts any single race result. Deegan didn't hold back how much this one meant to her afterwards, saying, "I am super happy to get my first podium of the season." She credited her team directly too, adding that the day brought real challenges, but that her Columbia bank-backed crew never gave up and pushed hard in the closing laps to bring home 3rd. She closed her comments by saying it felt good to finally get a great result and that the team needs to build on that momentum heading into the next race. A clear signal that she sees Portland as a turning point rather than a one-off. That next race is going to matter a lot too. This podium run moved Deegan up to 6th in the ARCA Menard Series West Championship standings, putting her firmly back into playoff-relevant territory instead of playing catch-up in the points. She'll look to carry this momentum into the Napa Auto Parts 150 at All-American Speedway in Roseville, California on September 5th. A track where consistency and clean racecraft, exactly what just got tested and proven at Portland, tend to matter just as much as raw speed. When you step back and look at the full picture, this Portland result is about a lot more than one good day. Deegan spent a full season away from stock cars, came back to rebuild something she'd already proven she could do years earlier, ground through a quiet start to the year that didn't generate much buzz, and then delivered exactly the kind of statement result that reminds everyone why she made this comeback in the first place. Falling to 16th and still finishing 3rd isn't just a good points day. It's proof the speed and the fight that made her a star back in 2018 are both still there and maybe sharper than ever. So, what do you think? Was that final lap podium finish earned through pure grit and patience, or did Deegan just get lucky when